My name is Martin Anev and I run Optimist Studio. That's a software agency that helps companies by solving their tech and user experience issues. We focus heavily on customer experience. I've failed on running some companies and I sold one of my companies, so I had some learnings along the way. I like to share what I've learned about marketing, technology, and business here on my YouTube channel and on my newsletter in the link below. Now let's talk about customer journey. So there are 4 main steps in the customer journey that we identify. The first one is how customers find you. So there could be a few ways, right? Like one of them is SEO or search engine optimization, essentially how you rank on search engines. But that is not necessarily what's only on your website, right? Like people can find about your company by being mentioned on other websites, on other blog posts, essentially the links to your website. So how you build that reputation online. There could be podcasts related to your business. There could be YouTube videos, newsletters, and so on. So basically, a lot of the content that comes pointing towards you, that's off-site SEO, and the content on your website that would be eventually relevant for customers when they look it up online, that's on-site SEO. So in our company, actually, we do have a free service for people who want to evaluate their SEO. So if you go on ux.optimist.studio, you could see how you could fix your website in 3 steps, and we can help you do this. Essentially, fill in your website URL. You'll get a report that's going to tell you what parts of your SEO are needing improvement. And not only this, we're actually going to audit it, and we're going to come back to you with some more ideas and what we can fix for you, for example. You can check it on ux.optimist.studio. Essentially, that's free, no questions asked. You can just go and evaluate your website right there. How customers find you on the internet. Another option is through ads or lead magnets. Essentially, having a good offer online and placing it so that people would decide to interact with it. It could be an ad that's running an image or a video. It could be a lead magnet that's something downloadable so that people download that material, maybe an ebook, a checklist, maybe a UX audit of your website. And so the people will download that lead magnet and they'll learn about your company, right? They'll start interacting with it. They will be aware of your brand. Now, if your customer journey is guiding them through the next steps they have to take, that would be significantly easier for them to know what's the next step, and how can they interact with your business. Okay, another way for people to find you on the internet is, for example, with cold outreach. You could do it via mail, for example, cold outreach with emails. There's plenty of videos out there on the internet and tutorials on how to set up this. We've been setting up this for some of our clients, and essentially the idea is, right, like you're going to shoot content to people who don't know you by providing a very meaningful offer, maybe including your lead magnet inside, and telling them that, you're there to help them solve their problems. So another way to do this is, for example, social media. You could post video on YouTube by educating your potential customers. You could post video and audio on LinkedIn, on Instagram. You can start a podcast, which is kind of type of media content out there. Maybe not necessarily social media, but basically plenty of ways to put media content out there. And it could be in the social networks, or it could be Spotify, for example, or audiobooks. A lot of ways to push content out to users so that they are aware of your business. So as an agency, we don't really focus on social media. That's not really our field. We do it. We do YouTube videos. We do social media for us, but we don't do this for others. So we just know what we can do. Next up is recommendations. Essentially, people could find about you by recommendations they find online. So this could be that you have been mentioned by a certain influencer, by a podcaster. You've been mentioned on a YouTube video, by partners, sponsored partnerships, non-sponsored partnerships, basically any type of recommendation that they could find online. So that helps for building your links. That helps for enlarging your customers' awareness of your brand. So recommendations is essentially one of the main ways how our company grows. And we're quite happy about that, because all of the other methods to acquire customers on the internet are actually not as efficient as recommendations. We're going to talk a little bit about recommendations in step 4 when we talk about how people could leave recommendations about your business and kind of encourage others to come work with you. Step 2, on the internet, do the customers find clear call to action, clear product or service? Essentially, the question about this, where we always ask ourselves is it clear for the user to understand what are we selling or what are we offering to help them with? Based on that, we define what is going to be the user experience, what is going to be the user interface. So most importantly, it should be functional, and then we make it beautiful. And then what is the copy, right? Like what are the key messages that we want to put there so that we make sure that the user understands what is really our product or service. Without that crucial step, they won't really engage with our business. They won't really start using our services. So it makes a lot of sense for us to give really high importance on what's going to be on our landing page. If you want the most important thing for them is to fill up a form, for example, for lead magnet, should put it really on top above the fold or the very first visible space, because this is what you want them to act on. If you are promising to give them something, show them a visual of what you're going to do. So these are some small examples of what we include when we design user experience on the website, right? So this is the step after the customers have found you on the internet. When they come, they basically knock on your door. They should know very well what's written around the door. What is the title of your store? So step 3, on your systems or products or service. So basically, how does the customer interact with our product or service or business? So what is their journey? What is their exact experience? For example, what we do often is we map the current user experience of the customer for that business. And then we map what's going to be the ideal one. And then we have like a guiding map towards where we want to go and where we want to reach. We'll do like a pure diagram where we would map what is the current experience and then what's the ideal experience. So once we define where we want to go, and then we design what we want to do, and then we develop it, then we do user interviews. So we conduct studies with our potential users to understand, do they really use our services and products as we intend them to or not? Maybe our ideal mapping, our hypothesis that was not validated because they actually don't understand how to use well our product or service. So essentially, we have to conduct those interviews in order to make sure that our customers really use our service or products as we intend to. Another key part of the customer journey while using our service often is really the software. Especially if you're having a tech company, it's really about the development of that software and the tools integrated around it. So this is one of the main things that we do as a company, really. Like we do heavy custom software development, or we do integrations with another existing system so that you could achieve, chat messaging and payment processing, and all of that should be really flawlessly working. Another important topic about the customer journey on your website is the integration with AI. Because as you see nowadays, there's plenty of tools that you could use AI for in your business that could be really beneficial. It could be doing summaries, it could study the data for your users, it could be visible to the users, or it could be used at the back end. So basically for your employees. But there's just so many applications for artificial intelligence nowadays that could be used in a business in order to improve the customer journey. And again, that may not be something that you show to the customer. That could be just the learnings that you make by using AI. And again, that may not be necessarily something that you show to the user. That is probably something that you use internally to digest some data, to prepare some reports. So there's plenty of AI integration that could be integrated in a company in order to help with the customer journey. Okay, another part of the customer journey very often is the process automation. So here's one example. If you have an e-commerce store and you accept a payment, so you want that payment service to be working, to be checking for frauds and cards and so on, to be stored securely and all of that. So essentially you may be using a third-party provider for that, and you want a good integration. Not only that, you would want to send an email after that to the customer. Hey, we received your order, it's on the way, it will be shipped soon, and so on. So all of those systems should be speaking to each other. This process that the user goes through should be automated and should not really depend on manual work as much as possible in order for you to be able to process as many customers as possible. So essentially, we help a lot of businesses with process automation when we talk about customer journey experience, because when systems work flawlessly is when we are really happy about using certain product or service of a brand, of a company. And when they're not, we see when there's a failure, right? Like you don't receive your email, or there's like a system failure because some systems are just not working properly. So it's quite a crucial point. And lastly, like the last part that we identify as very important to customer journey is really the infrastructure, right? Like, so how is your website performing? What is the limitation of your database or of your cloud provider or of your hosting provider? So those things are quite important to take into consideration, because sometimes if you try to serve too many customers from a very small server, it may become quite troubling for the customer experience. So infrastructure is really crucial. Okay, and step 4, after the customers use our service, what is their satisfaction? Would they recommend working with you? So here we identify 3 main components of customer satisfaction. Of course, there's the customer satisfaction survey, which would be great for you to include when you end working with your customers. And there are various tools for that that could be integrated with your business. Another interesting one is the affiliates. So for example, affiliate programs where you would encourage your current customers to share your company or your service to other potential customers. So they probably fit the same profile. So you could tell them, refer us to your friend. I'm sure you've seen something like that. For example, on the car transportation apps, you refer us to a friend, and then you can get some credit for free, or you get some benefits for free. So affiliate links and affiliate programs are a great way for you to be discovered. Remember the recommendation part. Also like to engage with your customers after they've finished using your service, because they actually get more credit or they get more service. So essentially they return and they continue to use your service. And the last part of the customer journey is really follow-ups. And we put it together, follow-ups and email campaigns, because you may want to follow up with your users by email or maybe by phone, WhatsApp, or whatever other automated tool. But for us, we see that follow-ups and email newsletters, for example, are working greatly. So just following up with your customers after they've finished with your product or service. So using follow-ups to your current customers is a great way to remind them about your business and for them to come back again. And sometimes that actually brings new customers, because once you follow up with old customer, they actually refer you to somebody else because they remember about your business. Once they talk with somebody who needs such service, they refer them to you. So follow-ups and email campaigns, I think, are quite essential part of the customer journey. So as a summary, when we think about customer journey, we think how customers find us on the internet, how customers interact with our website or landing page, then how do they interact with our products or services, and lastly, after they leave them, how do they recommend us to new customers? This is the way that we think about customer journey, about our business, about our internal products, and also to the customers that we serve. So I hope that was helpful to you. In case we've missed something or you have something to add, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. In case that was helpful to you, make sure to leave a like and just subscribe so that you don't miss the next video. That's all. Talk to you soon. Bye.